Good morning, students. This is my lecture number 1 for class 11th, subject English, chapter number 2. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together. This chapter is taken from your book Hornbill. This chapter is written by Gordon Cook and Alan East. Students, today in lecture number 1, we will cover this chapter from page number 13 to 15. The story is about a 37-year-old businessman who is the narrator of the story. He has a wife named Mary and 2 children, Jonathan, aged 6, and Suzanne, aged 7. He and his wife both dream of a voyage. Voyage means sea journey around the world on their ship Wave Walker. The ship which they chose for their voyage was named Wave Walker by the narrator, which is a 23-meter long, 30-ton wooden hull, just like that of the famous Captain James Cook. The whole family started sailing from Plymouth, England on July 1976. The initial phase of the 3-long journey was from Africa to Cape Town. It was pleasant. While heading east along with 2 newly hired crewmen, strong waves hit them and their survival became a question. This story tells us how they fought each day and survived till the end. As the narrator had dreamt of sailing in the wake of the famous explorer, and therefore for the past 16 years, he along with his wife had spent all their leisure time honing their seafaring skills in British waters. Honing means sharpening, improving. Seafaring means regularly traveling by sea. So, honing our seafaring skills means improving the skills required to go into the sea. Let's move to the beginning of their journey. The first leg of their planned 3-year, 105,000 kilometer journey passed pleasantly as they sailed down the west coast of Africa to Cape Town. There, before heading east, they took on 2 crewmen. Crewmen means sailors. American Larry Vigil and Swiss Herb Siegler, to help them tackle one of the world's roughest seas, that is the Southern Indian Ocean. Then, on the second day out of Cape Town, they began to encounter strong gales. Strong gales means heavy winds. For the next few weeks, the winds blew continuously. Gales did not worry the writer, but the size of the waves was alarming, up to 15 meters, because they were as high as their main mast. And the meaning of mast is a tall upright structure on a boat or a ship. Then December 25 found them 3,500 kilometers east of Cape Town. Despite atrocious weather, atrocious means rough weather, they had a wonderful holiday complete with a Christmas tree. New Year's Day saw no improvement in the weather, but they reasoned that it had to change soon. And it actually changed, but for the worse. Now we'll talk about the weather at the dawn of January 2, as the writer celebrated Christmas and the beginning of New Year in the rough weather, and the weather became worse on January 2. The waves were gigantic. They were sailing only with a small storm jib and were still making 8 knots. As the ship rose to the top of each wave, they could see endless, enormous means very huge, seas rolling toward them, and the screaming of the wind and spray. Spray means splashes of water. That sound was very painful to the ears of all the members who were sailing on that boat. Heavy wind was blowing, that was alarming the danger that was proceeding towards them. Due to the rough weather, it was important for the narrator to slow down the boat for taking some safety measures. So, to slow down the boat, they dropped the storm jib. Jib means a triangular sail set forward the mast in a ship, and lashed a heavy mooring rope in a loop across the stern. Lashed means to hit with a lot of force. Knots means a unit of speed equal to 1 nautical mile per hour, used especially of ship or the winds. Then they doubled lashed everything, went through their life raft drill, attached lifelines, droned oilskins and life jackets, and then waited. Stern means the back part of the ship or a boat, and donned means put on. They wore their oilskins. Oilskins means heavy cotton cloth waterproofed with oil. And they wore their life jackets and then waited for the weather to become pleasant again. And the first indication of impending disaster came at about 6 p.m. on the same day with an ominous silence. Ominous means unpleasant or threatening silence. The wind dropped and the sky immediately grew dark. Then came a growing roar and an enormous cloud towered aft of the ship. Aft means near the stern of the ship. With horror, the narrator realized that it was not a cloud, but a wave like no other he had ever seen. It appeared perfectly vertical and almost twice the height of the other waves, with a frightful breaking crest. Crest means reach the top of a wave, and frightful means very unpleasant or shocking. The roar increased to a thunder as the stern moved up to the face of the wave, and for a moment the author thought they might ride over it. The weather became worse, therefore a tremendous explosion shook the deck. Tremendous means very great in amount. Shook is the past tense of shake, that means vibrate. So, a very great amount of water exploded the deck. A torrent of green. Torrent means fast moving stream of water. And white water broke over the ship. The author's head smashed into the wheel. Smashed means shattered or broken violently. His head smashed into the wheel, and he was aware of flying overboard and sinking below the waves. That time, the author accepted his approaching death, and he thought, as he was losing his consciousness, he felt quite peaceful. After that, the author describes his own condition and the condition of the ship named Wavewalker. Unexpectedly, his head popped out of the water. Popped out means came out of the water. And then he grabbed the guardrails and sailed through the air into Wavewalker's main boom. Boom means pole that controls the angle and shape of the sail. Then subsequent waves tossed him around the deck like a rag doll, and his left ribs cracked, his mouth filled with blood and broken teeth. Somehow he found the wheel, lined up the stern for the next wave, and hung on. Then he paid heed to his wave walker, and he found that the wave walker was near capsizing. Capsizing means be overturned in the water, and the mast of the ship almost got horizontal because a wave hurled it upright, and then he found the decks of the ship were badly smashed and broken timbers hung at crazy angles. Then the author half swam and half crawled into his children's cabin. There he asked his children if they were all right. The children answered yes, they were all right. Then Sue showed him that her head got hurt, and due to that she got a big bump above her eyes. Bump means swollen part. And her head had also swollen, and that was aching. Aching means paining. She got her eyes blackened, and there was a deep cut on her arm. But she did not mention all this to her father, as she knew their father was quite busy in saving the life of all the people who had boarded on the ship. Therefore, this girl gave an example of bravery, and she was courageous enough not to disturb her father when it was a crucial time and the father was extremely busy in making all the repairs possible of the ship. As the author noticed that their ship had been broken due to a heavy wind into the sea, therefore it became important for them to take some corrective actions to protect that ship before it is sunk completely into the sea. Therefore, the writer handed over the wheel to his wife because his wife Mary shouted that the decks of the ship were smashed and they were all full of water. Then he gave the wheel to his wife and started working on the corrective actions. Then he found that Larry and Herb, both the crewmen that boarded with them into the ship, started pumping the water like madmen. They noticed broken timbers, timbers means wooden pieces, were hanging at crazy angles. The starboard side bulged, bulged means swollen inwards. Clothes, crockery, charts, tins and toys sloshed about in deep water. Then the author somehow found a hammer, screws and canvas. He struggled back on deck with the starboard side bashed open. They were taking water with each wave that broke over them. And the author knew if he could not make some repairs, all the people would surely sink. Somehow he managed to stretch canvas and secure waterproof hatch across the gaping holes. In order to cover those gaping holes from where the water was coming into the ship, he decided to cover them, he decided to repair those gaps. Some water continued to stream below, but most of it was now being deflected over the side. Other hurdles in the endless night. More problems arose when hand pumps started to block up with the debris floating around the cabins and the electric pump short-circuited. Debris means rubbish. Then the water level rose threateningly. Back on deck, the author found that there were 2 spare hand pumps which had been wrenched overboard. Wrenched means pulled suddenly or removed, along with the forestay sail, the jib, the dinghies and the main anchor. Forestay means a rope to support ship's foremast, and dinghies means a small boat for recreation with mast on sail. Then he remembered that they had another electric pump under the chart room floor. He connected it to an outpipe and he was thankful to find it there that it was working. That night dragged on with an endless, bitterly cold routine of pumping, stirring, and working the radio. They were getting no replies to their Mayday calls, which was not surprising in this remote corner of the world. Mayday calls means these are the words used to signal ships struck in a disastrous situation through radio. Now children, let us brief out the chapter We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together, which has been divided actually by the writer into 3 sections. And from page number 13 to 15, we have covered the first section of the story and the second section of the story. In the first section of the story, the writer talks about the beginning of the round, the voyage, the sea journey. The first section was cheerful and full of hope as the family began their planned voyage, just like the one done 200 years ago by the famous Captain James Cook. They had perfected their seafaring skills for 16 years. They built a ship named Wave Walker professionally, which was a 23 meters long, 30 tons wooden hulled ship. They celebrated Christmas on the ship despite the bad weather. Then the second section of the story began that describes the struggle with the big attack. The section changed from cheerful to intense. The family was under great pressure to survive the oncoming waves and bad weather conditions. A giant wave created chaos and the ship was about to overturn. The narrator was thrown off into the water and he almost drowned and got injured. Along with 2 hired crewmen, the narrator pumped out the water from the ship for a continuous 36 hours. He also tried repairing the parts of the ship as well. So children, this was the complete summary of your lesson number 2 from page number 13 to 15. Now I'll assign you homework. It is important for all the children to read the chapter from page number 13 to 15 thoroughly for your better understanding. This is the end of the lecture. Thank you.